economic pretty shortly. But before we do, Geoffrey, let me take your views on this as well. Do you think the policy should be revised?
Yes, especially when, let me share some facts with you so that you can, as we speak right now, it's about funding,
right?
You know, and it's sad that the GET fund, you know, we had the Ghana Education Trust Fund that was purposely for education. We're raising about 4.5 billion annually, and we are using, because of the cap system in place, we are redirecting about 2.8 billion that was supposed to handle education issues into other sectors. I mean, no matter how important those sectors are, the most important thing is that by law, we were expecting to put these monies into education.
Right.
Let's handle them like that. Now, instead of fighting to achieve the SDGs goal for target of allocating 15% of your total budget to education, we are doing 12% in 2023. That is by far the lowest in the history of this country. Now, if you call for a review, this is what I expect to be included in a move to review, because I agree totally that we should review the system and ensure that we are going forward. We should remove the capping at GET Fund. It's going to increase our education allocation automatically by 2.8 billion. We should also properly target the free SHS using data from the LEAP project. You know, running the LEAP project, we know the homes that are on the LEAP project. So children from such homes automatically should be considered. Now also, when you talk about private schools, some people, there are two ranges, you know. There are okay private schools where people pay high amounts, like American International School, other schools like, you know, the big private schools that you see around. But it is important to caution people that there's a low fee paying private schools. Those ones are in areas like Alubushi, in the middle of Accra. There's no government school in that enclave. So you have some private schools that they charge as little as 3 or 5 cedis, you know, and 10 cedis, you know, for a week or something. So all these low fee paying private schools should also automatically be considered. And like my brother said, from the public schools in the hard to reach areas, you know, automatically you can have some of them to join. While at this, we should cut down on waste. Like I mentioned to you, the production of t-shirts. Who are you marketing it to? It is a system. Government, the president, His Excellency, has the biggest platform in this country. Right. The first gentleman. He has announced it. The Ministry of Education has also supported. So it ends there. There's nothing to market. If there's any report, put it in your development reports. We'll get to hear about it. But to advertise it and get ambassadors, look, it was a waste of finances. And we should be careful about such. You know, because you on the next 10, you are telling everybody we are poor, it's getting bad. And then the next moment you are seeing wasting money. That's the biggest problem you create for yourself. Now we should explore fee paying. In these enclaves of schools, you have what they use, sometimes they call the A class schools. Some people have not failed. They've done very well, but because of competition in those schools, they're not able to enter such schools. But because of family choice of prestige, they want to the Achimotas, they want to go to the Pope John's, the St. Peter's, the Fancy Pims, there are these schools. These are another very good, they want to choose these schools. Just as we did for the tertiary education, let's have the internal generated funds with the PTA, let them plan something, have a financial aspect to guide them, and then put in place a system where those who can afford can pay. Most of these schools, look at a school like Achimota, even after the school lands have been stolen to the highest whatever, there are still huge lands over there. So you can have real estate companies develop some of the facilities, and then you can, and the good thing about exploring this fee paying is that then you can even take on more teachers and then have, you know, facilities. They won't separate them from the mainstream. They will run the same classroom like Legon is doing, as you can see other universities doing. They will run the same classroom system with them, but they just have to pay school fees. This monies will be used to manage the schools. Now the final one is to actually initiate a fundraising with good sense of humility and humor. You know, I think at this stage we know that the funds to run education, even after GET Fund, for you to even think of capping GET Fund, should tell you that you were in some trap situation, or you want to use the money for something else. Leave that. At the end of the day, come to other institutions and individuals. Look, let me tell you what. The monies that you see that the NGOs like Oxfam, ActionAid all come to this country to bless us with. They are coins. You know, those who travel abroad, you see some boxes at some malls, and some churches will be ready to do it. Get the churches to help you. Get the individuals and the companies to sort some coins, you know, in the immediate. Let's have a 2 or 3 year plan to support education. And then let's get, you know, at the end of the day, when you set the systems right and initiate this fundraising initiative with people of good faith who can talk to people and explain things to people, they might help. And then we can have another fund to even come up and then what? Support. During Corona.
You mean the
ambassadors? Yeah, exactly. No. That's a good question for me. I don't need that kind of ambassadors that you engage and you have to give them money and other operational support. No.
It has to be willing.
Exactly. Right? Those who even want to start by even giving to start. You know, you saw what MTN, the gentleman, I think the CEO of MTN and his colleagues did during Corona, putting up a hospital, you know. Yeah. You saw the initiative. That's how it is. Like, I mean, around the same period, government was doing something, but you saw how the private one ran. Just getting the people to be convinced, to feel and know it, and then come up and do something. I'm sure if you start something like that, and I'm sure people like yourself, you would want to just give it a support if you would see that, look, the monies will run through private accounts. I had a lot of people like myself, before I gave, I was looking at is it going to be purely private? Don't blame me, because it is in Ghana that MTN and other companies can build a 6 classroom block, let's say for 1,000 Ghana cedis, and then when government builds, it becomes 1,500 cedis. So for me, around the time, I was very interested in it going to private hands, and they didn't shame me. Right. They put the hospital there, and you saw it, right? Did you see that hospital? Did you see it? Yeah. Did you see the time of delivery? That's what I'm talking about. If it will do what is meant to be done, and the accountability, you saw what they did. The accounting system was like that. That's what I'm talking about.
I see.
CDD had a research. Yeah. 80% or more Ghanaians are ready to pay more taxes. There's a bat there. I saw your eyebrow. They're like, are they really going to pay? Yes. They said until there's an assurance and they can see that there's accountability and transparency. Exactly. If it's available, they'll pay more. That's why when your church, you finish your offertory, you say that this Sunday's was 10,500. Nobody said the man who's collecting the money at the church is stealing. But transparency is key.
I see. Let's